Welcome back to our Transfer Talks podcast. My name is Leilei, and I am a Transfer Jacks peer mentor. Here with us is a very special guest who's interested in sharing their Transfer Jacks experience.
Hi, I'm Brennan Page, and what would you like to know? I don't really know where to start. So,
Okay, sweet. So how about we start with some this or that questions just to kind of ease into this.
yeah,
How does that sound? Pretty
yeah,
good?
yeah.
Okay, so do you prefer the sun or the snow?
I would say that I prefer. I mean, they both have their pros and cons.
True, but what do you prefer?
What do I prefer?
From a subjective perspective.
From a subjective perspective,
I know, deep thinking right now, right?
yeah, maybe I could talk a little bit about like what I like about each one.
Go
If I have
for
to pick
it.
one.
Honestly, go for it.
Okay. The sun. Well, I love going out for hikes. I mean, Flagstaff is, really known for the trees and the hiking trails and the camping opportunities. I just bought a soft top camping shell for my truck.
Nice.
You know those shells that they put over the beds? Yeah. The hard ones, like the frames, like the ones where you like it's hard.
The hard frame?
Those ones are like $3,000. So I got one that's like the convertible fabric, like for a car, like a convertible car.
Uh-huh.
So it's like a softer one. It was like $1,000, so it was like a little bit better.
Yeah, very nice then.
Yeah.
Pretty big investment, but definitely worth it, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so I'll definitely go camping, do some hiking, and then the snow season I set up an ice bath this year. So I bought like a horse trough. Is the camera on?
It's totally on.
I bought like a horse trough and filled it with water, and then over the snow season it just kept freezing over.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great because I could just go there any time of the day. For a while, I haven't done it in a little while. Just sometimes I'll take a cold shower.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll break the ice and get in for like 3. The longest I've done was 7 minutes. It's cold. Super cold.
It's definitely challenging. I've seen a lot of videos where people literally do the same thing as you, as they leave it outside for it to just naturally kind of like ice up and everything.
Yeah.
And he did it like every single day. Would you do it every single day?
I was doing it every single day.
Oh, you were?
I was.
Nice.
Yeah. But I kind of have other things on my mind right now. So because it kind of takes up like it's a really hard thing to like get the day started, but I feel like it was like I don't know. I just couldn't do it every day. So.
Yeah. And it's not always for everyone, and you don't have to do it every day, but it's always cool to try it. You checked it off the box. You checked off the box. Yeah, exactly. You're like a been there, done that now. So now you don't have to do it every day anymore. So you're good. You're good to go.
Yeah.
So moving on to a different this or that question: morning classes or afternoon/evening classes?
Definitely morning. I have a 6 to 9 chemistry lab, and
morning, or is that the afternoon? Okay, yeah. That's like a little bit late for me for classes.
Yeah.
How is that for you? You have to go, but you would prefer it in the morning?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Sun is shining. I feel like there's more people kind of around campus in the morning. If you're kind of someone who gets a little bit overwhelmed by all the people, then you might want to choose like a night class. But morning is like things are moving, people get things done. You kind of like get to go in the morning and be part of that.
So you like the busyness in the morning?
Yeah, it can be good.
It's like more, I guess, in a sense, alive.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, like the campus is completely packed. I started. I'm sure we'll get into it, but I started off at Mesa Community College, and there just wasn't the volume of people moving around.
Oh, really? Here, then, since you mentioned it, we'll totally go right into that. You said Mesa Community College?
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your experience over there. You talked a little bit about less busy, so elaborate more on that.
Yeah, so I think the amount of students that they had there was probably not as much as here.
So a smaller campus?
Yeah, smaller campus. And so you have like you have like a really long strip here at NAU where you have a lot of buildings kind of like like you have this long strip, and then let's say the union building is over here. You have like the bioscience is over here, and it's all kind of lined up on this side and all lined up on this side, and it goes down, goes to the bookstore, and then it keeps going down.
I feel like you're creating the whole campus map right now. I'm trying to keep track right now. No, you keep going. Go all the way to South Campus.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually been to South Campus because I just have this semester. I just have bio and chem.
Yeah, so you're relatively in North.
Yeah, so maybe next semester I'll kind of. South Campus looked interesting, but I haven't actually been there. And I think that's like one of the questions. But it's just like a long strip, so you see all these people. I mean, it's just like a ton of people. You know, you're like moving in and out. And then at MCC, it's a little bit, the shape of the school is a little bit different, and you have like, you know, parking lots on like every single side. There's no parking permit. I kind of like that.
I would too.
Yeah. I made the mistake of, so this snow season, they weren't giving me tickets for a while.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't even know about the permit thing. I was just.
Oh no!
So I got the first ticket. It was $0, and then
warning, right? Yeah.
The warning, and then I came back. I was like, well, I'm just gonna be here for 40 minutes. It was at like 3:00. Still gave me a ticket.
It's like it depends on the time of the day, but yeah. I mean, with me, I'll get caught all the time because I have bad karma. But yeah. Like, yeah, you always want to be safe. But like again, you didn't know. You didn't know, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay that $90 later.
You've learned. You've learned, right?
Yeah.
Well, then tell me a little bit. So basically what you're saying is that the structure is different in itself, right? Different shape and all that. And you said that Mesa Community College is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
So then having transferred to NAU, what would you say is even more different? Maybe less on the structure and more on like maybe what resources we offer or clubs. Like kind of go more into that.
Yeah, there's a lot more resources. It's so much more involved. I actually am so happy that I came to the university because I feel like it's more of a community. So when you go into the community college, it's more like you're an individual and you're going to this institution and you're, you know, taking classes and you kind of like go home. There's a lot more people who are like kind of working and doing school. Whereas, you know, NAU is like, if like most of the people here are like full-time, and you know they're just doing school, and that's something that I've been trying to transition over to for next semester, because for this semester I was able to have some other resources that helped me focus on school more. But you know, come next semester, you know, it's like most of the time I've been working and going to school at the same time, and that can be a little difficult. So, but what I really like about MCC, I mean NAU is
I was like, excuse me? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Like, hey. What I like about NAU is just like if you're coming here, like you kind of have both options. You know, you have the opportunity if you know can gather the resources, whether it's through scholarships, through grants, through student loans, to take the opportunity to be full time, and you have that community that's going to support you in your classes. And like if you're going to be full time at MCC, it's kind of like everyone's a little more or less doing their own thing, and people are still kind of figuring it out. That's kind of what I was getting the vibe of. Everyone knows they're going to be transferring. Some people are getting associates, some people are getting bachelors. But you know, when you're at NAU, the classes that you're in, I feel like I've met like a lot more like biomed majors, which is what I'm majoring in. Where, you know, when I was at MCC there, you know, I was kind of like the only biomed major.
Was that not a program? I mean, if you transferred, they probably didn't offer it over there, right? So
yeah, they didn't. Well, no, they offered biology with like an emphasis, like medical emphasis, I think is what it.
Okay.
Maybe it was just general biology, but I knew. I mean, I always tell people as biomed because I like was transferring. You know, I knew what I was going to transfer into. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, the resources here. There's a lot more resources. I feel like, you know, when it comes to like mental health resources. The clubs are I feel like a lot more established. Maybe part of it I think is because people, you know, are gonna come here and stay here longer. You kind of have that diversity of like freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. Where at MCC, it's kind of like if you're gonna start a club, you know, it's only gonna last for, you know, so long. So a lot of the clubs there are really like they're clubs that have been around for a long time, and like people kind of just like. Whoever leads the club kind of filters in and out. But here you have like, let's say you have a freshman who comes in and is like really passionate about one thing. they're going to start that club and they may run it for the whole 4 years. And that's, it's a little bit different. Like you get a little bit more diversity, like club diversity.
So it sounds like it's a lot easier for you to connect with others here, right?
Yeah.
Because it seems like school wasn't just a full-time kind of thing where you came from, right?
Yeah.
Mesa Community College.
Yeah.
And what is it? And over here, it seems like there's a lot more full-time students, and so you have a lot more opportunities to connect with students.
Yeah.
And so, like, talking about clubs and everything, are you in any clubs at the moment?
No, I don't
or involved in any sort of way on campus?
I've been going to a few things. Like I went to the Women's History Month panel.
Nice.
I went to, I think that was the only thing I really had time for.
That is a pretty big deal. I love that. So
yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like so I was before I came here, I was living in Bisbee, which is a border town near Mexico, and I was like really isolated there.
Small population and everything, right?
Yeah. I can't remember why. I sort of know why I went down there. It's a little bit of a story, but I was living like just really isolated, and so when I came here, there's a lot of women here. It's a very like kind of I think it's like a lot of my classes. There's a lot of women in my classes, and
a lot of diversity, inclusion. You see a lot more.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, yeah, and so I just like.
Is that kind of like a culture shock to you, like in a good way, a bad way? How do you feel about that?
It was just like I wanted to
be exposed. Is it the exposure?
I was just really like within myself, like as like I consider myself a guy.
Okay, I know what you mean.
So I was just I was like way too masculine for like a little while, and I felt like I was kind of like rubbing people the wrong way. So I was like, okay, like I gotta like diversify. I gotta like, support. I gotta support the girls, So
yeah, it's a lot more. I feel like inclusive is a really good word, but it's like evolved over here. We're kind of like a more developed kind of sense. We're not we're a lot more modern, if you want to say, with the times kind of thing. So,
yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, and would you say that's like part of the? That's
MCC wasn't as progressive. Yeah,
and I hear that from a lot of transfer students, and that's what really makes NAU stand out as well in this state too. And would you say it's a reason why you wanted to transfer here?
No, I mean like. I don't really, that wasn't like the reason, but I mean, I transferred here because of the trees and the mountains,
the nature.
Yeah. And I felt like I just kind of needed to be here. I feel like everyone in the path that they go through in life, kind of leads them to the right places. And so coming here, I definitely felt that. I was like, dang, like I really needed to come here.
No, and sometimes that's the best way you can explain it. Literally, people just say, the vibes. Like, that's like the best way you can say
the vibes,
it. It is a lot more common than you think.
Yeah.
Really, like, NAU or Flagstaff just has that kind of power, you know? But so, kind of want to make sure that I check all these questions that I know that you'd be totally open to asking or answering. So, what do you like about... I mean, okay, we kind of like did go over that. So like you said, like the NAU environment, you really like the trees, you're an outdoorsy person. Is there anything else that you'd like to like include in your liking or interest of NAU or the campus, Flagstaff? Or you feel like you've like checked all the boxes there?
Well, I mean, I don't know how it is for everyone, but personally, I just love the architecture of I think university campuses, but I mean NAU specifically has a really nice architecture. Like when you go to the Klein Library, they have it's like a lot of wood on the inside, and I really like that natural kind of like polished. I worked a little bit in like doing my own landscaping. Like I built a patio, and I like worked in at a plant nursery for a while. So I just like that kind of natural.
Your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, then. So then how about what experiences have stood out to you since you've been at NAU? In case you haven't added a little bit on that.
Yeah. Let's see. I know I modified the question, so I'm trying to think like what reasons I modified it for.
You're good. And if you need time to think about that, we can move on to another one and then come right back to it. Again, great editing skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you be open to that, or you want to think about it and stay here?
No, we can move on.
We can move on?
Yeah, we can come back to it.
We'll put a pin in it. So, what was your experience like? Oh my gosh. I'm like totally like asking questions because we like naturally flowed into like answering all these questions. So just give me a minute. So, okay, what types of programs, departments, or people have helped you throughout your transition? There we go.
Definitely the transfer.
Oh.
The transfer. Transfer.
He's like looking for what the program's
Jacks.
called.
Yeah. Yeah. Transfer Jacks. My professors have been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was kind of going through, some difficulties at the beginning of the semester, and I was able to talk to my professors about it, and they've been really understanding. And as I've been kind of developing through my personal journey, they've kind of been they've been supportive in that, and I feel like the professors here will, if you go to office hours and you talk to them and you connect with them, they're really willing to. I feel like the professors here really are focused on connection more than like every college has their discipline, right? Like every college has like kind of their like how like what we're all doing together, right? And I feel like other colleges it might be it might be like more military style depending on where you go, where it's like super rigid for whatever reason, or it could be maybe a sport thing. I don't know, but I just feel like the people here and the professors are really focused on like, how are you, how can we connect, like let's everyone's different, everyone has their perspectives and their sides and their experiences, and how can we come together to how can we support that? That's the structure that we want to focus on.
See, there we go with the vibes again. There we go. But you definitely,
I've always been like that.
Yeah, and I know that it's a bit bigger compared to Mesa Community College. But you definitely, I know that NAU is a lot smaller compared to its like peer universities, so like ASU and U of A. Would you say you really like how it's a lot, like you said, connection, so there's a level of intimacy that you can have, so like the classrooms aren't nearly as big compared to the other universities? And do you like that kind of smaller classroom so you can connect better with your professor? You like that?
I do. And I think a reflection of that is the size of Flagstaff itself. So I mean, one of the reasons I had moved to Bisbee before I came here, I was doing Mesa online. And I liked that idea of a small town because when I was living in Phoenix, I felt like I was just like drowning in all the lights and the people. And
it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up there, and it's like, I had been there for too long, maybe. But I mean, you could just drive. I remember sometimes I'd drive for an hour just to go somewhere.
Really?
And it's like
because it's that big.
You're still in the city after an hour. You're driving, and it's like here's a light, here's another light, here's another light. But here, it's like
cozy, huh?
I'm someone who needs to, like, sometimes I kind of like, need to go camping for a weekend, and it's like right there, or I need to, like I just like, kind of. Maybe it's a control thing. Maybe it's not.
It's a you thing. It's like a total preference. And I was almost going to say, is it a weather thing? But then you said you were open to sun and snow. But
the weather thing's awesome. No. The weather thing, I love snow.
But like, escaping from the heat.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because Phoenix is like, you're baking in this. You're just in the sun all the time. It's the city of the sun.
All year round.
All year round. Yeah.
Sometimes you need a change of scenery. Yeah. Right. And what's great about Flagstaff, all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
All 4. This year was quite interesting. I mean, you were here all semester, right? How were you doing with the snowstorms and everything?
The snowstorms were cool because for a while I was like, I was like, I should join the military, So I was just like walking and like
you were like totally thriving in the snow.
Yeah, I was like, this is awesome.
It's you and one other mentee that like, I love the snow, and like everybody else was like, I hate it. I want it to be sunny and sunshine and rainbows and all of that. Would you say you're excited for spring, or would you like the snow to drag out a little bit more?
Well, I didn't get the opportunity to go snowboarding, and I should. And
oh my goodness!
I know. I got a snowboard when I was living in Phoenix. I used to drive I drove like 4 hours all the way up to Sunrise. Do you know where Sunrise is?
A little bit. Refresh my memory, though.
It's like 2 hours from here.
Okay. That's not too bad.
But so I have a snowboard and all the stuff, and I just never went snowboarding because I was just busy. I know, and I really wanted to go.
Well, it's okay. You still got time here at NAU.
Yeah.
You'll make time for it for sure.
Yeah.
I hope it's not going to be as bad where it drags out to here, but maybe it'll give you more time to like, think about going.
Yeah. I mean, if I really want to go, I can kind of take a trip up to Colorado. But,
true.
But if I like want to go, I should probably go kind of soon to get up to Snowball.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the spring here, I mean, the weather is going to be amazing. Like it's going to be sunny. It's going to smell nice.
It was nice today. I have to admit, it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
We've all been waiting for it.
Yeah.
But so, kind of, are you feeling pretty good about this? Coming back to that one question, though.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So, what experiences have stood out to you since you've been here at NAU? So I know you've talked about the people.
Yeah. And
you talked about like the environment and just the overall vibes. So if that kind of just helps you give a starter on that.
Yeah, I feel like the people here, I felt like, I mean, in my personal life, I feel like I've made connections here that I would describe as spiritual, which is a new thing for me.
Really?
Yeah, I've met a couple of people where I'm like,
this is the perfect place then to feel spiritual. Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of spiritual, I'd say, enterprises just kind of in northern Arizona. I mean, you have like Jerome over there, which is kind of like a very spiritually grounded place. And I haven't been, but I would like to go. And then, kind of branching off around the area, you have all kinds of different like craftspeople and artists. And I feel like it's a really good place for people to come to discover themselves and to feel connected as well. And Flagstaff is, a hub for that. Flagstaff's a hub for northern Arizona. It kind of branches off to the Grand Canyon, to this place and that place. And within Flagstaff, you have a lot of like individual business owners, whether it's like DeMarco's Pizza or the jiu-jitsu place that I go to, or local restaurants, tattoo shops. You have a lot of businesses that are, owned by individuals who have a passion. And it's not just like, what I didn't like about Phoenix was it was like there weren't a lot of like mom and pop or family oriented places. It was like everything was business.
Yep.
And I was kind of talking to my grandfather about this. He's like, yeah, I mean, Phoenix is like everyone's like doing business, and it's kind of like cold interactions with everyone. And, coming from my family, I felt like I didn't really feel very connected to my family. So, so it was nice to come to Flagstaff because I feel like there's a lot of people who kind of resonate with that. And so you can come here and you can, it's I feel like Flagstaff's all about connection. Yeah. And I felt like Phoenix was just kind of, I don't know, I was just kind of like, I was kind of in a daze in the sun over there.
It wasn't your pot of tea over there,
Yeah.
It wasn't, but can't say you didn't try it.
Yeah.
Can't say you weren't trying to like connect with people or maybe like fit into some sort, but you know what?
I kept trying and it just like wasn't working.
You tried, and how was it over here with those attempts?
Oh my God, so much better. I mean, immediately I just feel like, I feel like I find people that I connect with and I'm not even trying.
It just comes naturally, right?
Yeah.
That's when you know.
Yeah.
And that's when you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. I'm really happy that you've had like positive experiences coming over here.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's like you were saying, like you get to discover yourself, and it's like you're implying you discovered a little bit more about yourself as well, And so kind of like with everything that we just talked about and being a transfer student, what's a piece of advice that you'd like to give to incoming transfer students?
I would say if you're transferring, try to get it helps to get an associate's first. I didn't. I was like, I just need to get up there. Like I was originally going to do the My Path to NAU, and then I was like, I just need to go. And I had like a semester left, before I came up here, and it was like 2 classes left. But I didn't want to like like I didn't want to wait, you know, I just kind of wanted to like
You're really eager to just get out of there, right?
Yeah, I was. I would say if you can be patient, do that first, because it'll help your transition, and it'll really give you a more solid it'll kind of solidify the transition a little bit more. And especially, you know, when you're making that transition, it can be a little bit of a culture shock going from a community college or any kind of like online college to a real university. It's very different. It's definitely not the same experience.
Expect some culture shock, because it's going to happen, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And so
you definitely said to like get your associates. You said that. Is there anything you'd suggest them to do once they're here? So say they did get their associates and now they're here. Any resources that you recommend, or clubs or anything to like do here in Flagstaff? What would you recommend to that transfer student?
I'd recommend buy a snowboard. Great way to meet
people. Go to Snowball.
Yeah, go to Snowball. Yeah, great way to make friends. You know, sign up for like local. Like I signed up for jiu-jitsu as soon as I got here.
Nice.
And it's a really good way to, you know, not only meet people who go to NAU, because there are a lot of NAU students who go there. They have like an NAU program. It's a good way to meet, you know, like adults here. And, you know, I found like a comedy group through that. So I started doing some stand-up comedy through that. And I felt like it was a really good way for me to understand like who are the kinds of people that live in Flagstaff. And once I learned that, I was like, damn, like I really do fit in here.
And for you to like, you know, take those steps to join those kind of clubs, what do you think it takes to actually, because some people are hesitant to take that step because it can be really scary. Like you said, culture shock. So what advice would you say to kind of overcome that step right there? Yeah,
I would say that that the biggest thing for me was just understanding that people are just like you. You know, it may feel like any given person that you interact with is, and I'd say like this is something that I wanted to focus on because of relationships I have had in the past, and I don't know if maybe other people resonate with that, but regardless of like who you're interacting with, it's just like find a place where you feel comfortable enough to allow yourself to realize that people are just like you. You know, people are different, but at the end of the day, they are just like you. And you don't have to, you know, connect with everyone, but I would say that try different things. Try to see like, you know, this place feels a little warmer, you know, maybe it gives me a little bit of energy, and I can use that energy to open up a little bit so that I can have the opportunity to connect with these people. And for sure, you would say that if you weren't involved in the clubs that you're in right now, it would be hard to feel a sense of belonging, right? So definitely involvement helped with that transition as a whole, right? Absolutely. Okay. At the community college, they didn't have things like SI sessions where you know, get together with your peers who are all in the same class and do homework together. They also have the mental health support squad where they have, you know, like the homework session. It's peer led, and they have I went to the art drawing. I went to the art drawing thing, and then the homework thing. I think I'm gonna go to next week. They do like an art drawing thing, like you like compete or something, or like what do you mean by like art drawing? Like so like a literal art, like drawing. I was thinking like drawing and like, okay, you get the, or like whoever no. Totally different drawing. Nice. So you've been involved with the what's it called again? Mental health support squad. Nice. I felt like if you don't have like a foundation to get mental health, and they have a lot of resources here. It's a lot different than Phoenix. So definitely you got to get out there, try new things, expose yourself in a sense where you're comfortable, right? But like, you know, it'll definitely help smooth that transition out and that culture shock. Okay. Well then, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap this up? Nope. No, you feel pretty good? Okay. Well, how do you feel? I feel amazing. You're honestly really cool to talk to. We could talk for hours. We do not have hours, but like, you know, this was a really great conversation that we had. Yeah, totally. Really good. So thank you for joining us here today. We really appreciate it, and thank you.